I use that as motivation. I can never...
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. Greg Zuerlein, the Rams kicker, approaches Los Angeles, fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They run with Ajayi. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Wentz. And that is incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Now a first down throw. Gone. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's going to get his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. To throw on second down is gone. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Again, Goff. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Sproles. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Goff. And it pops free. the collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Here we go. Here we go. 280. Stack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
81.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Go. 280. Push on.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
On the ball. Run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third.
Black, come on.
Working from the gun. Wentz going for it all. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 29 yards. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Goff. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
lefty.
This is a Ajayi. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go. Hey, ram.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And that'll set them back 5. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Solid. Black, come on.
Throwing is Wentz. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. On first down, gone. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion, went just shy of the marker. Gone. Dumps it off to Gurley. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
2 for 66.
To the air again. Goff. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. This is 1st and goal from about the 8.
Orange.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. On 2nd down, here's Goff. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Tyler Higbee as the first half is winding down. And the Rams have got this back to a 1-score game. Zerline good with a PAT. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here we go. Ready? Check 26.
They'll start out on the ground with a giant. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Whirling.
Gurley again here on 1st down. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. From the 50, it's gone. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10.
DC. Dula. Maverick.
On 1st down, it's gone. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Goff now to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. Cut. At 80. Hot. Shell. Obama.
Again they run with Gurley. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit.
Now a hit and a loose football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Whirling.
Goff on 1st down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Back to throw. Goff. Sliding out of the pocket. Throwing right, and that's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Goff now looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they will take the lead at the good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And some space here. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there from Ajayi. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Right back to him on 1st down. Space to run past the 20. And a touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, 31 yards. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Rams getting set to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Going for a right side here, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Go, 12, go. Hardball. Twos. Dula.
From the gun, here's Goff. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Goff throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Like 20.
A shotgun snap for goal. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Michael Bannon in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Shell. Cut.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Merlin.
Out of the gun. Gone. That'll be caught by Cup. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Hey, 5. Merlin.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. Eluding the pressure right. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Our ball. 12.
Now Goff. He's going to go up top for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. Got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive.
Orange.
Goff throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley punching it in from a yard away. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Zerline out now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
81, 81. Go.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Mark Barron coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Here we go. 20. Rip.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He's back to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Back to throw. A dump off to Sproles. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient. Followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now a 1st down throw, gone. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 50, it's gone. They'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. To throw is gone. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Mike Bennett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Rams going for it on 4th. Gone. Going up top for Cup. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And a great return as he takes us out just shy of the 45. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. First throw of overtime for Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Samson Ebukam in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. What can Wentz do now with his drive? And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mark Barron in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Straight 15, straight 15.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is no good. He missed it. And that changes everything here in OT. Well, when you get that ball in OT, that's not the chance you envision, and the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
Cut. 180. Go, 12, go. 12. Deuce, deuce. 12, 12. 17, 17.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Go, slide. 20. Dula. Maverick, Maverick. 12, 12. Argo. 14.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the upright.
On it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.